I just got back from a 2-week trip to Central Europe with just one 27-liter carry-on, and I wanted to share my packing list with you. As far as the trip details go, my wife and I visited 5 countries, started in Budapest, Austria, ending in the Czech Republic, with side trips to Slovakia and Germany. The timing was mid-September, shoulder season, so most of the days are going to be warm and sunny, but with a few chilly and rainy days. The main backpack I carried was the Tortuga Expandable. It's one of my favorite bags that I'll often carry when I don't have a new bag to review. I love it because it's large, it packs easily, and is comfortable to carry. I supplemented this bag with some packing cubes. These are the packing cubes from Matador, large one, main clothes, pants and shirts, small cube for socks and underwear. And then instead of a smaller backpack, I carried the packed 4-liter Stash Sling as my main everyday carry bag. For clothes, I kept it pretty simple and minimal. We stayed in several Airbnbs that had washing machines, so I only took a few sets of clothes. In addition to what I was wearing, I brought 2 pairs of pants, 1 pair of shorts, 3 t-shirts, 3 socks, 3 underwear, 2 overshirts, 1 button-up, and 1 wool polo blend. With this setup, I needed to do laundry about once every 4 days or so. The weather on our trip was mostly warm. There were a few chilly days. I decided not to bring a jacket because I'd run kind of warm. However, I did bring a small travel umbrella. The one I brought ended up breaking almost the first time I used it, so I had to buy a replacement. The electronics I brought were also fairly minimal. Largest items I had was my phone, obviously, and a little tablet e-reader. Some additional camera gear, DJI Pocket 3. It's got the tripod, extra battery with that. Also DJI Action 2 camera with the magnetic neck attachment. I tested a new travel adapter on this trip. This is the Energy C6 Duo, 2 USB adapter ports with exchangeable adapter plugs. This is a high-powered device, 67 watts, so strong enough to charge everything. I got the international adapters, so you can switch these out and just take the one plug you're using for the countries you're visiting. Also worth noting, every country in Europe doesn't use the exact same charge type. Type C is the most common. That's this one right here with just 2 pins. However, Czech Republic uses Type E, which has an additional grounding pin that you need to account for. My wife took the Mojix Bagel, which doesn't have a little hole to account for that. So this one didn't work. However, this one did because that grounding plug is going to go either above or below this port here. A few additional electronics I took. This is the Nightcore NB Plus, an upgrade from their 5,000 milliamp hour NB Air. This one's 10,000. Noise canceling earbuds, AirFly for watching movies on the plane. This thing is technically not necessary, but I really like it. It's a small dedicated noise machine, and then 2 USB cables. Also this little tiny cable for using the battery pack in your bag. For food and water stuff, also pretty minimal. I tried out this little Go Bites Spin. Very happy with this. Converts fork, spoon, but folds up into a tiny little package. Takes up almost no room in your bag. Vapor Elements 1-liter water bottle. Kind of have mixed feelings on these. It usually works pretty good. Occasionally leaks. Doesn't take up very much room in your bag. Can be handy, but does have some downsides. And I can't stress enough how useful it is to have a couple of Ziploc bags and a few binder clips. These have so many uses, especially for food. Very handy, take up almost no room. Also just a variety of snacks, nuts and bars for airplanes and train rides. For toiletries, I tested out the new ULA toiletry bag. I really like this thing. It's large, lightweight, packs a lot of stuff, has a few compartments. However, downside, this thing really needs a hook. It's just a plain bag here and it doesn't fold out. There's no hook or anything for hanging in the bathroom. These are all the toiletries I carried inside that bag. Unscented Castile bar soap in the Matador flat pack, foldable toothpaste, another Matador toothpaste bottle. This is hair goo in the Go Tub, mini mirror, floss, nail clippers, a mini razor blade over here, lip balm, hand sanitizer, and a small tube of sunscreen. Pills and medications go in this small foldable pill case. I usually carry enough pills that I can get to a pharmacy if I need something more. This thing is very useful, handy, and also very small. I also carry a small first aid kit. This is going to very much depend on where I'm going. For a trip like this to Central Europe where you have lots of access to stores, don't need to carry a lot in here, just a couple Band-Aids and some tape and some moleskin if you get a blister. Laundry sheets for laundry. This is 5 of these things. They're extremely small, lightweight, very useful, and they don't count as liquids, so you don't have to worry about security. Can't stress how useful these are. A few other miscellaneous items: sunglasses, case, small Zenny case, lightweight. Not necessary, but I really like the hard case to protect my sunglasses. Sleeping mask for the airplane, and a set of these Max silicone earplugs, which I really like and work really well. However, I didn't use them on this trip. For money and travel documents, I made an entire separate video of this a few weeks ago, which I'll link to in the description below. But a quick overview here: my standard daily carry is the Chum Surf Short wallet. Here I'll carry cards and enough cash for the day. Also brought a money belt. This is the Osprey Stealth wallet. Here I'll take my passport, more cash, and a second set of credit cards, debit cards, and my driver's license. As far as what worked, what didn't work, and what I might change on my trip, the backpack and the packing cubes that I brought worked great. The expandable is one of my favorite bags, one of the top bags that I take on trips when I don't have a new bag to test. And one last thing that I've been carrying around with me, I think it's kind of silly, but I'm surprised in how useful these actually turn out to be. I've been carrying lately around a small sheet of blackout stickers in the case behind my phone. These come in different shapes and sizes. These just happen to be the bear head ones. I use these for covering random lights in hotel and Airbnbs, usually like those standby lights on television, bright lights on routers, stuff like that. Getting a good night's sleep when you travel, I think, is super important. So for me, nothing is worse than when you go to bed, turn out the lights, and your room is just like a Christmas tree lit up with lights all over the place. So what I do is I take these little stickers, they're completely blackout, you're not going to see anything through them, and just stick them all over the room on those little lights. By the time I'm done with that, the room is perfectly dark. These little things don't really leave any residue behind. They kind of stick off. You can peel them back off if you want. If you want to leave them there and confuse your host, you can do that, or just pop them off and stick them back on the sheet to reuse them. I think my toiletry setup worked pretty good. I kind of been using the same kit for a while. I got it mostly dialed in, tested out a few new products on this trip. Really like this ULA bag. Only downside, again, it doesn't have that hook. Other than that, it's just a big, lightweight bag. Tested out the Matador toothpaste tube. Again, like these things, it's refillable. Pop the top off, squirt more toothpaste in there. The opening is fairly small, so it lets you not use too much toothpaste on each time, so you don't need to carry a very large tube. Also, in Europe, they're a lot stricter with their clear plastic bag going through the airport security. Sometimes they have them in the airport, but I usually like to just carry an extra quart or liter plastic bag so you can put all your liquids in there before you go into the airport. You can carry this around in your toiletry kit or just switch them back and forth as you go. That's all I had for this packing list. I'll put some links in the description below on some of these items that I shared with you today, including a link to the full packing list that I brought. I highly recommend the areas we visited in Central Europe. Budapest is an amazing city. Vienna, Berchtesgaden in Germany is breathtaking, and Prague is one of my favorite cities. Please feel free to let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about any of this gear, my trip, any of the places that we visited. And again, thanks for watching.